This might have been the most wild, kind of out there one that I had thought of, but I thought it was pretty fun. And so, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back, as always, to another video on the channel. It's Ansonex, and today I want to wish you, first off, a very Merry Christmas if you're watching this on the couple of days after I release it. I am recording on a very happy Festivus myself, but I want to go over some things today, guys, that I think Deadlock should add or change before the game releases. And this is a really fun one to kind of just rack your brain and come up with ideas on. So if you got good ones, I'm really eager to hear them down in the comments. But I tried to keep things like more heroes or better balance off the list, because we obviously know that they're going to add the heroes that are in Hero Labs and even more, and I just think it's good to get some less guaranteed bits on the list. And so without further ado, we're going to jump right in, and the first one's going to be better effect UI. And what I mean by this is, like, if you get Affliction or if you have like speed boost on the zip line, I would love it for it to be a little bit more direct or a little bit more obvious than the far left progress bar that we have right now. It makes it a little bit difficult to see, and most effects don't have that giant splash effect to make you notice immediately that you've been afflicted or you're inside Kelvin's dome, which obviously you'll know by seeing the dome, but you know what I mean. So I think under the crosshair, though, is a great place to put these effects for them to be shown. They could get like a little radial cooldown icon, very similar to how Quicksilver Reload or Restorative Shot are those items that give you like a little pseudo passive like every now and again that resets every like 6 or so seconds depending on the item. The downside to that, though, is that it could be a lot more cluttered if it's right under the crosshair. So if that is actually the case, it would be that's where you really want the more apparent effects on screen. And so it's a combination of these two, really, while you still have the progress bar on the left. And think about like when you get shot in Call of Duty, how obvious it is that you've taken damage or something has happened to you. Just the blood is everywhere on the screen. It should be very similar. Like if you get hit with Affliction, there should be a giant like splash screen, essentially. That's like, now my entire screen is green. It was something very similar to that. And so the next one that I would like to see is a proper practice mode while on the game map. And the current way to get into a non-live, kind of locally hosted game map, it's possible and somewhat simple if you know what console commands to do or where to plug them in, but it's not very easy or intuitive as it is in other Valve games. Counter-Strike's the one that I think of. I would love to see an option when you click Play Sandbox for it to open up another menu, and then you just are given a choice of playing on the sandbox map or a regular game map. This is going to really easily let you practice your box routes or any other movement techs or anything that you can't really practice in the default sandbox map with the targets. So now, guys, the next one I got is Stronger Base Guardians, and this might be a little bit more controversial, so let me know what you think here, but I would love to see the two Base Guardians stand up a little bit more to punishment, or actually rather deal out some more punishment. These guys are just mere time sinks as it comes to getting into the enemy base, and later in the game, you can literally just walk right past them if they're up past 30-35 minutes, and I would love to see these guys get beefed up, or even a new objective that takes their place altogether. Adding a proper stun, like the walkers have, that would give these guys a lot more ability to effectively defend the base and give you the ability to capitalize on them stunning an enemy. The fourth thing, guys, that I really want to see them add in is the draft system, and I would love for this to be the default matchmaking mode. It would force us all to play some different characters every now and again. It would make it a lot easier to just select a new character, as opposed to you have your good characters on purple, and then, you know, maybe if you can't get your good ones, you got the other guy. You got McGinnis set to white or Infernus set to white, so you can learn them eventually, but you never actually get them because you always get your purple ones. And so this would force us all to play some different characters every now and again and give you a little bit more control over who you're playing in the first place. Honest to God, some of my least favorite experiences playing Deadlock have been me loading up at like 11 o'clock at night, or I've got one more game in me, and I'm like, I could do this one, and then I'm going to bed, and then I get like my third option character who I just did not, when I saw myself having fun playing Deadlock, it wasn't with that character. And so I think that if you had a draft system and you had some actual direct say in who you were picking, or rather you had the final say in who you were picking, it makes it a little bit less disappointing to then get that third option. Before we get to the last one, guys, I do want to throw in there a giant majority of the viewers who have been coming back and watching the videos are not subscribed. So if you find yourself coming back week after week, I would much appreciate you subscribing. So the last one then, guys, that we have is dropped souls get added to the urn jackpot. This might have been the most kind of out there one that I had thought of, but I thought it was pretty fun. And so it's pretty clear, I think, that the devs and the urn are still a ways away from where they ultimately want it to be. And we've had patches which have made the urn the most important thing to be doing on the map. And then there's some where the relevance is minimal. It feels like we're a bit closer to the latter in this patch. And I think this would be a smaller change to push people in the direction of the urn, especially if someone drops like a 1200 soul ball sack. All of that gets added immediately to the urn. And you could have like a 10, 12k urn if by the end of the game, if you're kind of if your teams are kind of ignoring it. And I think that would be a really interesting dynamic to have the urn kind of not exponentially, but stack more and more and more onto it as the game goes on and as people ignore it. I think it could be super interesting. And that's all I got for you this time, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching and wish you the merriest Christmas and happiest holidays and a Happy New Year. I think I should be putting out another video before then. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic holiday season. I hope you guys get some time to unwind with friends, family, and relax. So have a fantastic week. I will see you again next week. Peace.